and shine. Rise and shine.
Good morning, Grenada, and welcome to Rise and Shine. It's your boy Troy Gill, and of course, you know we have lots of great content, a lot of great information coming your way. But you know we want to start this morning with our morning's fitness to get your heart pumping, get your blood flowing, get you ready to start your day. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
No matter your beliefs, whatever your dreams, we all have one thing in common. We call these islands home. Beautiful Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. However, they are threatened by our actions. But we can collectively begin a new path in which our economic prosperity and well-being does not irreparably damage our islands. Let's use our natural resources in conscious and sustainable ways so that future generations too can enjoy our home. Let's care for our environment and keep it litter-free and beautiful. Let's all pledge to take action against climate change by changing our behavior and changing our lifestyles to protect our environment. Join us today and let's keep Grenada green and clean.
Thank you so much for joining us, guys. It's your boy Troy Gill, and I'm going to be taking you through 3 exercises, right, to get your heart pumping and to get your blood flowing. So I'm going to do the easy version first, and then we're going to do the regular version. All right, guys, and if you don't catch it on the first one, you can catch it on the second. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Woo! Let's go, guys, if you are following. 1, 2, 3, 4. Come on, guys. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Woo! Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Woo! Good job, guys, if you are following. All right, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Woo! Good job, guys. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Woo! Good job, guys, if you were following. So that's our first set. We got 2 more sets to go. All right, second set, guys. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, come on, 10. Woo! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Woo! Good job, guys, if you're following. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Woo! Wow. I can feel the burn in my legs and in my shoulders, guys. All right, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Woo! Good job, guys, if you're following. All right, let's go. Woo! Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Woo! Good job, guys, if you're following. All right, last exercise in this, our second set. All right, ready, guys? Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Woo! Good job, guys, if you are following. All right, guys, so this is the final set. Let's make this one count, guys. All right, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Woo! Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Woo! Good job, guys, if you're following. All right, second exercise in the final set. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Woo! Good job, guys. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Woo! All right, guys. Final exercise, final set. Woo! Let's make this one count. All right, guys. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Woo! Good job, guys. All right, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Woo! Good job, guys. Wow. If you were following, good exercise, good sweat. All right, guys. Hope I got your heart pumping, got your blood flowing, guys. Thank you so much for joining us, guys. See you again next time. All right, guys, so thank you so much for joining us, guys. And of course, we have lots of great information, lots of great content coming your way. So stay tuned to Rise and Shine. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. With lives and livelihoods affected by the COVID-19 pandemic, head of the Psychosocial Support Unit, Kizzy Matthew Clarence, speaking on MTV's weekly feature Healthwise, says it is everyone's responsibility to protect their mental health.
As we are in the COVID-19 pandemic, mental health is even more crucial now than before, simply because we have been faced with a lot of anxiety, a lot of fear. Persons are frustrated, people are losing jobs, and there are so many stressors that are present with us that as individuals, that there has to be steps that have to be taken to ensure that we promote good mental health, because when we're talking mental health, we're talking about promoting, meaning doing things to ensure that you increase your mental health, increase your positive coping and all those things. And we're also talking about safeguarding.
Individuals must take steps for any eventuality, she says, including infection or exposure, which can lead to isolation.
Isolation for many can be difficult. Just the thought of isolation sometimes can be anxiety provoking. And one of the best things that we can do, just so that we are a little bit more prepared mentally, is to prepare ourselves. That if I were to contract, or if a family member were to contract, what's your plan? Do you have a plan in your home or in your families? Maybe there's a room, or maybe if you're not able to spare room, then everyone is able, even before that person contracts, so there's a family plan in terms of everyone is aware that if someone were to contract and we're not able to put them into a separate room, then we have to wear a mask and all those practical things.
As difficult as it may be, it is also important to remind oneself of the importance of isolation, Clarence says.
Yes, I may not be able to interact or see or touch, and you still can interact because you're still able to connect via WhatsApp video and calls and so on. But it's to be able to change your mindset, as hard as it may be, that you're able to change your mindset and shift your thinking that I am in isolation because I am trying to keep my family or my friends safe.
She continues to remind Grenadians there is support available at the Ministry of Social Development.
So maybe you're in isolation or in quarantine, or just generally you're feeling overwhelmed, you're feeling anxious, Maybe you're experiencing some of those symptoms, trouble sleeping, or probably sometimes sleeping too much, changes in appetite, some anxiety symptoms, as I said, the shortness of breath, the restlessness, the constant worrying. Maybe you're sad all the time, maybe you're crying, or some things that will point to just a change in yourself and a change in your being. And you're not able to focus, concentrate. If it gets really bad and maybe you're having suicidal thoughts, just know that there is support available.
For MTV's Healthwise, I am Troy Gill.
Rise and shine. Rise and shine.
With the news in detail, I'm Tony Julian. First up this evening, of course, a true celebration of pride and patriotism. For yet another year under the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, Grenada celebrated its 48th independence anniversary. Today's celebration was begun just after 9 this morning at the National Stadium with a scaled-down parade, or military parade specifically, and no spectators at the National Stadium. And though the celebration was curtailed somewhat, organizers put on quite a spectacle as thousands watched from home, on the Spice Isle and throughout the diaspora. Let's get more on this from Rachel Bain.
Overcoming our adversity, safeguarding livelihoods, protecting our future. The theme as Grenada celebrates its 48 years since it became an independent country. The celebration was held at the Kirani James Athletic Stadium with no spectators due to the circumstance of COVID-19. Normally, there is an Independence Expo and cultural activities are held after the ceremony, but due to COVID-19, the cultural activity had to be held virtually and separate from the official ceremony. The ceremony this morning at the National Stadium, while it was a scaled-down version of what it used to be, there was a packed schedule. Here are some highlights from this morning's activity.
Today, sisters and brothers, represents yet another momentous occasion in our country's history. As we celebrate 48 years as an independent nation, notwithstanding the bumps along the road that threatened to derail our progress, our beloved country has recorded many milestones in the past 4 decades. Therefore, there is much to be proud of as we approach our half century as a nation.
For MTV News, Rachel Bain.
Overcoming our adversity, safeguarding livelihoods, protecting our future. That was the theme for Grenada's 48th independence. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell delivered a bittersweet independence address to the nation, speaking of the impact of COVID-19, but also highlighting some of the country's milestones amidst this deadly pandemic.
During his speech at the 2022 Independence Celebration at the Kirani James Athletic Stadium, Grenada's Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell boasted of how resilient Grenadians are as a people, which is one of the country's strongest areas. Pointing to the education system as one of the hardest hit sectors, Dr. Mitchell highlighted that the children were disrupted the most during the COVID-19 pandemic. However, through it all, they continue to excel.
Our young boys and girls have been deprived of the social interaction that is so necessary to foster good human relations. We just need to reflect, sisters and brothers, on our own childhood and how we valued meeting our friends at school and participating in various sporting and leisurely activities.
The Prime Minister gave kudos to the people of Grenada, especially during the pandemic, which has contributed to economic and, in some instances, social losses.
At the national level, had it not been for government prudent fiscal management and the sacrifices of you, the people of this country, the impact of the pandemic could have been even more detrimental. However, almost 2 years to this day, when the pandemic first reached our shores, we persevere, confident that this too shall pass.
As Grenada continues to battle with the reality that COVID-19 is here to stay, the Prime Minister says that the country needs a solid partnership between the government and its people.
Government and people working side by side as we seek to overcome this adversity, safeguarding lives and livelihoods, and creating a legacy for future generations.
MTV News, Vanessa Pancho.
The Royal Grenada Police Force had some tricks up their sleeve. As Grenada celebrated 48 years as an independent nation, there are some of the highlights of the men and women in uniform at the National Stadium today. Now, Grenadians are well known for their patriotism, which is often displayed boldly and proudly, even in the face of COVID-19. Entrepreneurs capitalize on this opportunity and express their creativity through T-shirts and other accessories, which are purchased by hundreds who just want to show off their homeland. MTV has been speaking with some Grenadians, both home and abroad.
I'd like to wish Grenada a really happy 48 years independence, and may God bless you.
Happy Independence, Grenada. Happy Independence, Grenada.
Happy Independence, Grenada. We are so happy to be here in the Independence Day. I like it so much. We're very interested how is the ceremony, and we saw some authority, the Prime Minister and the General Governor General. Yes, so we are happy to be here.
Okay, would you like to tell Grenada happy independence?
Sorry?
Would you like to tell Grenada happy independence?
Yes. Happy Independence, Grenada. Sí, feliz Independencia, Grenada.
I just want to wish all of the Grenadians, home and abroad, happy independence.
Grenada, look Grenada, independence.
And still with independence, yes. Well, the highlights, Sean Niles, affectionately known as Sour Serpent, has retained his title as Independence Monarch. This is the fourth consecutive year that Niles has taken the crown to the parish of St. David. While the event was held virtually due to COVID-19, it did attract several spectators via social media platforms.
The finals of Grenada 48 Independence Calypso competition took place last Friday, 4th February, virtually from the National Stadium. Sean Niles, also known as the Sour Serpent, once again captured first place in the Independence Calypso competition 2022, making it his fourth Independence Calypso title.
I know we love to spread propaganda. Yes, and close by the river. So when COVID hit, we spread it like shit. People falling like moths with COVID blood clot. And when the numbers hit red, they say we should stop the spread. But I say no way. Come let me spread the value of civic awareness. So this nation's interest will be all of us business. And come let me spread all aspects of our culture. So our watching Renwood.
Minister for Sports and Fisheries, Yolande Bain Horsford, was present at the Calypso competition.
Of course, we are still living through a global pandemic which has impacted our independence celebrations. Nonetheless, we are grateful that we can have the Calypso competition virtually for the second time.
Placing second at the competition was Sheldon Douglas.
Making sacrifice, all wholeheartedly. Tell me this now, are you ready to be a soldier on the front fighting for this land? It don't matter the day or hour, when she call you, do all you can. Are you ready to be that soldier? Together for one common goal, throwing all obstacles we could conquer. If we commit a heart and soul, now I say, for this nation cause, let your voice be heard.
There was a tie for third place between Samantha Dixon, also known as Royalty, and Philandi Jeffrey, also known as Stunner.
Cause we are stronger than before. We can do much more. By safeguarding once we go. To let Grenada glow. Protect our future. This country's treasure. Time to show our colors. And show the world we were built on strong balance. Oh, so we can't give up. No way, we can't give up.
You see, food security really need a booster. Oh Lord, oh, booster. Oh Lord, oh, booster. So that we could toil and go back to the soil. Oh Lord, oh, booster. Oh Lord, oh, booster. Let's share the booster, but not only for Corona. Let's share the booster.
Nikita Hostin, MTV News.
Grenada Independence Cultural Extravaganza 2022 was also one of the events leading up to Grenada's 48th independence celebrations. The event that was held on Saturday night virtually at the National Stadium.
The second virtual Independence Extravaganza was held on Sunday at the National Stadium. Overcoming our adversity, safeguarding livelihood, and protecting our future is the theme for this year's 48th Independence. The 2022 extravaganza saw many performances from cultural icons, dancers, and musicians.
The Royal Grenada Police Force is happy with the reduction of crime here in Grenada in this other development. According to the Commissioner of Police, Edwin Martin, while it is trying time for policing in Grenada due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the country's crime rate still remains low with a reduction of 3%. Commissioner Martin says the Royal Grenada Police Force was able to clamp down on illegal immigrants and on drugs.
We have successfully contributed to continued existence of a relatively stable crime environment, characterized by a 3% in total reduction of reported crimes. Homicides contracted by 70%. We have also achieved an unprecedented 79% crime-solving rate. We were also able to effectively protect our borders from criminal elements. We removed 16 illegal firearms and a quantity of illegal narcotics from the streets, at the same time ensuring that those offenders were brought to justice. The RGPF also intercepted 37 illegal immigrants, many of whom were involved in criminal activities, and had them deported. Notwithstanding our successes, some formidable challenges remain.
Speaking at the RGPF ribbon and medal ceremony, Commissioner Martin stressed on the issue of sexual violence in the country. He also expressed concern over regular reports of runaway teens,
including the persistent and pervasive pestilence of sexual crimes and violence against our women and children. In this context, I am concerned about the increasing reports of domestic violence. The family unit is the foundation on which the structure of our society is built. And the home should be the safest place for everyone to find love, happiness, and comfort. I am equally uneasy with the apparent growing trend of female minors leaving their homes unannounced for days. This issue seems to be multidimensional at its root. We must therefore ask ourselves, what is fueling this phenomenon? Is it circumstances within the home? Is it peer pressure? Is it a lack of values and self-control? Is it a case of exploitation of the vulnerabilities of young and impressionable minds? Or is it a combination of all? Whatever the problem, we need to identify the root cause and fix it quickly.
Education stakeholders continue to develop strategies to get Grenadians employed. TVET, that's a technical and vocational education and training organization. They provide knowledge and skills for employment. Now, TVET is focused on transitions. It aims to therefore provide learners, both students and adults alike, with skills for work and life. UNESCO. It is a critical plank in the move toward lifelong learning for all, and it aims to provide equal opportunities for all young people and adults to learn. The Grenada National Training Agency, in collaboration with the Ministry of Education, will be developing for Grenada a national TVET policy, and also a series of consultations will be held in the coming weeks. That will be to put the TVET policy framework together with consultations. The consultations themselves will be held from the 14th to the 18th of this month, February, and Gordon Williams, Monitoring and Evaluation Officer at the Grenada National Training Agency, explains for us the purpose of the stakeholder consultation from the 14th to the 18th of February.
The modern era of the technological advancement and the drive for sustainable development have increased the need for technical and vocational skills to position itself on track toward global competitiveness and social resilience. Grenada must improve the productivity of its labor market through the development of market-driven skills and by bolstering its TVET system. The government is committed to continue its effort to the advance of the TVET sector as a strategic national priority and as part of its overall educational system upgrade here in Grenada. The Ministry of Education has been focusing on the areas for effective education delivery through a series of policy initiatives. One such initiative is a comprehensive review of the TVET policy framework to ensure quality TVET provision through Grenada for meeting local, regional, and international skills demands.
Williams spoke too of the TVET policy and how it began in 2019.
In 2019, the process of developing this TVET policy would have started. It started with a TVET policy review, which was done in 2019 and completed in 2021. And it took that long because of the COVID situation that had existed. But here we are at this critical stage after that was done. A recommendation coming from the TVET policy review that we should go ahead and develop our national TVET policy. The process of this actual policy development started last year in August of last year, 2021, where we did the first part of this policy. And this policy has some different segments. The first part was where we evaluated all of the relevant documents, especially with special focus on the TVET policy and the National Sustainable Development Plan 2020 to 2035, and other regional thematic documents were used and reviewed to inform the policy. That was the first phase. Drafting of the key policy areas inclusive of context, guiding framework, and priority lines of action, strategies, and cross-cutting areas was also done.
In some other news this evening, farmers on the Western Corridor will soon be able to access a wide variety of plants at one propagation station in Guav, including avocados, which, according to one agronomist, will soon be available in early varieties during the planting season.
Troy Augustine, agronomist at the Maran Propagation Station in Guav, St. John, said farmers in that part of the island will no longer have to travel to outer parishes to purchase plants, as they will soon be available in different varieties for the commencement of the plant distribution season. Speaking to MTV News on Wednesday, Augustine said they are currently in the process of developing different varieties of avocado plants, which continue to be in high demand.
So today we're highlighting one of the plants that we have started multiplying, which are avocados. And to get an avocado to a place where it's ready for sale, to start the whole process, you first have to collect the seeds, clean the seeds, remove the other outer coating of the seeds, put it in a bag, and then it sprouts.
He said in its early stages of propagation, several shoots can emerge from an avocado seed due to varying factors.
One thing about avocados is that they can develop multiple shoots. Mango has the same potential. It is basically cell division has taken place that's causing shoot development. And if you have a very, very good soil, a very good potting mix, you can get sometimes up to 7 shoots.
However, all these shoots may not survive, Augustine said, and as a result, grafting will take place to ensure the remaining plant survives and is viable for the local market.
They would remove a few of them, almost leave one. And from that process, you have the grafting taking place. So you have the rootstock, which is from the seed, and you have the scion, which is from the mother plant. So you want a plant that is bearing, for example, an olive variety called Palak. We have these varieties propagated here, so farmers can purchase them when the season comes in, they can get all the varieties.
He says the early varieties tend to be in high demand by farmers for the commencement of the season, including the late varieties, so farmers can have in excess towards the end of the season.
Rise and shine.
Oslin Crosby, and I want to thank you so much for joining us. Laura Lisa, a song of motivation, a song of encouragement, something I know so many people need to hear today. Better days are coming. Remember, hard times don't ever last forever, but who do? Tough people do. You have to find a reason to keep going each day, and as we always tell you, look for a reason. There must be a reason. You're up today, and to me that is the first reason. You're alive. You have an opportunity so many people don't have. You may have children, you may have family. Keep looking at the bright side of things. Don't worry about all the things that are going wrong that you have no control over. Be grateful for the many things you do have, and try to figure out how you can attract so much more of it into your life. So, it is Tuesday the 8th. We celebrated 48 years as a nation yesterday, independence, and so much was shared in the Prime Minister's address. Along with it, we're hearing that we are preparing for that big celebration come 50th anniversary of independence here in Grenada, and that's in the next 2 years. So we'll have an opportunity to chit-chat all about it during the program. But let's go on over to the Met Office, where Mr. Tamer is waiting for us to share today's weather report. Good morning, Mr. Tamer. Thank you so much, Mr. Tamer. And that's the forecast for today. Please be mindful of what's happening. We always encourage you rather to plan using the weather forecast. So just in case the weather do change on us, that you are prepared. You are always prepared for whatever comes. So that's Mr. Tamer from the Met Office. What we're going to do now, we should be having our first guest on when we get an opportunity to speak football. Not seeing her on as yet, but we'll be back in just a moment. We're going to take a quick break and we get back in with our first conversation.
We support you at every stage of your life.
For business,
for your education,
for your financial freedom,
for that new ride.
Upgrade your life with the Communal. Contact us today.
Get your electricity bill to be so low?
For one, we size our transformers just for what we need, and we unplug transformers, chargers, and other devices when they're not in use. We also replaced our light bulbs with LED. I even replaced the seal on my refrigerator door to keep the cold air in.
How do you know if it is working?
We pay attention to the usage history table. Over time, our average usage has decreased.
Renelec, energizing our Grenada.
She was my life, caring for me, loving me from a baby. COVID came and she never left the house. She felt safe there. Just turned 80. She kept saying, "Son, go take the vaccine so you could come and see me. I miss you." And never did. Because I'm young and I'm strong, and people on Facebook say the vaccine don't really protect you. I went to see her because I thought I was fine. I had no symptoms. She was so happy to see me. I had COVID and I did not even know. being vaccinated would have helped. I just know it. I just know it. I'm so sorry, Granny. I'm so sorry.
This message is brought to you by the Grenada COVID Crisis Group and the Grenadians United in Virginia.
Rise and shine.
Welcome back. So as indicated before we went on the break, this morning we're talking football. We're starting off our conversation today with football, and to me it's quite independence related, as we're speaking about our sports ambassadors here and the national women's team, the senior women's team. They are preparing for the CONCACAF World Cup qualifiers, and there's no other person that's best to speak about football here than GFA's communication officer, and that is Ms. Nisha Peters. Good morning, Nisha. Welcome to Rise and Shine.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us. I know it's early, but we do appreciate you making the extra effort to wake up and do this with us.
You gotta do what you gotta do. When you love football, anything goes. Yes.
That is true. That is true. Nisha, preparation, the senior women's team, they are preparing for that CONCACAF qualifier. Let's speak about that. Last year, we concluded the year speaking a lot about football, more games, more competition, a lot more exposure for our players, and we're seeing that the GFA is delivering on that. So let's speak about their preparation. What's happening? Where are they now? And we are hoping to be ready for when that game come about, yeah?
Well, we do hope that. Well, I know for a fact that they are preparing. They pumped and they're ready. They've been in training for a few weeks now with the new coaching staff. That's with Jake Rennie. He's the head coach of the team, of the senior women's team. He's ably assisted by two female assistant coaches. That's Alana Pransour and Shakira Collymore. The team is being managed by Ms. Chanel Philippe. She has been doing an amazing job since coming on to the GFA, managing those teams. No, the team has been in training for the past couple of weeks, as I stated before, and they are on 4 days a week per week. They're right about now, they're preparing to go into camp because their first game is on the 16th of this month. They're coming up against Dominican Republic. That game will be played in Dominica. And after that, they fly back home to one of the biggest challenge of all, taking on Jamaica, which is on the 20th of this month at the Kearney James Athletic Stadium. And I must say, the girls are pumped. We are doing all what we have to do behind the scenes to ensure that they have a great experience and everything is in place for them to ensure that they do well within this tournament.
And one of the things that I want to note, as you spoke to the team, the management team for the senior girls, is the fact that the GFA have prepared players because Shakira is a former national women's player. I remember that name. So it's important, and I like here that we are seeing now the handing down. So I have given to you, and now she's helping to groom the others. Excellent.
That is wonderful. And that is something that we have been trying to incorporate within our national system, to get persons who are part of the national team and who want to give back to the sport, because there's a lot of them outside there. The goalkeeper coach of that team as well is a former senior men's player. You understand? And it's amazing how they come together and doing what is it that they have to do to prepare these young ladies and them for this tournament. And I suspect that they will do good. We didn't expect them to be perfect at it, but we expect them to put in a great performance and do us proud as a nation.
And I'm sure they will. I'm sure they will. Our footballers are passionate on a different level. I think we know that. We understand that. Nisha, when you said Jake Rennie this morning, I can see the pride. I know it beams out of you once we speak about him, because he is part of your community. He comes from your football family. And whenever we see our young people excelling, I think it's important that we do continue to laud them for it, as it is a laudable achievement. And You spoke of the goalkeeper coach. I'm speaking about one of the coaches, the assistant coaches with Jake. And there are many more. There are many more. And in addition to that, what kind of names, some of the names that we are hearing, and some of the girls that we are expecting a lot from? Because I know you would always have your shining lights in the midst.
There's always that. But I must say, this group of young ladies, they came out from being players from as low as the under 15, U17, U20, and now they're senior women. Some of them took part in when we used to have the WIFA tournament. Some of them were on that team when they won that WIFA tournament in St. Vincent. We have people like Judy McIntosh, a very promising young player. We have Crystal Julian, amazing young player again. Ranisha Bob. No, it's a few of them. Well, and if I go to start calling names, Osling, I know I least for them out and they might get upset with me, and I don't want to do that. But I must say that they're amazing. You have goalkeeper like Connie, coming back on the field of play again. It's really beautiful. It's really amazing. And within them, a few young players who are still on the U20 team, making that senior women, coming onto that senior women team camp. The final team has not been picked as yet. However, I know the coaching staff have a tough job. To be able to pick the best out here and still try to incorporate a few international players, but it's going to be a tough job picking a final squad for this women tournament, and I really do hope. I know they're going to pick an amazing squad, and I know they're going to do good because all they could do is their best.
Yes, that is true. All they can do is their best. You spoke of Connie. Is that Connie St. John?
Yes,
that used to be
yes.
Excellent mix, because we now have seasoned experienced players with young budding talent. I think that would make quite a mix. It is similar to that of the composition that was that we sent off to that RAS competition. Was it in Dominica or in the Dominican Republic also?
No, that is something, as our senior main coach, he is the one for the overall development of football in general. And Jake, as a part of being on his coaching staff and working with him, I think he has learned a lot from his experience with him. And I think what he's doing now is incorporating what he has learned from the senior men's coach and his coaching staff and bring it on to the senior women's staff. And I must say, it's amazing. I'm just thrilled and happy to be a part of that development, seeing these young ladies and then coming from the U13 competition within CONCACAF from Trinidad and then going on to the senior. I must say, women football in Grenada it's on a rise. It's not where it's supposed to be, but it's on a rise. And with the continued development and the continued support from the GFA Secretariat, I'm sure it's only better we could get. More competitions, which is something that we need, and more playtime for the young ladies, being together and everything. And once that happens, I know things will go well. Our president is very passionate about that. We have a women's representative on the executive who is even more passionate about that. That's Ms. Renee. And the core women's committee, they're very passionate about women's football development, and they've been doing an amazing job. I must commend them for that. And once that trend continues, I'm sure 3-5 years from now, who knows? We may be going on to bigger competition, even winning these competitions than them. And that is our hope.
Yeah, I concur here. That is our hope. That is where we're hoping we can get to. Nisha, when will the team be departing for Dominica?
They're going to Dominica's on the 16th, so it's around somewhere on the 13th, 14th. I'm not sure exact on that date as yet, but around that time they'll be leaving for Dominica and then coming back for this big game in Grenada here in Jamaica. They also have to play Cayman Islands. That game will be played here also in Grenada, also at the Grenada Games Athletic Stadium, and they also taking on Bermuda, and that venue has not been disclosed as yet when they take on Bermuda. And that game, Dominican Republic on the 16th of this month. They play Jamaica on the 20th of this month, and then on the 6th of April they play the Cayman Islands, and on the 12th of April they play Bermuda. So it's a lot of football for them in this competition.
Tough competitors too. The Spice Girls against the Reggae Girls. Yes, that one is going to be.
Amazing game. And what is it? Was once that COVID keeps on us still, what the fans can expect is a few of them being in the stadium. Not much, but it's a few. That is our hope. Our fingers are crossed, and we hope to get that energy back into the stadium and give those girls that vibe to play on and enjoy that game.
I will ask you that question. What happens? Such a big game. Will we be able to go into the stadium?
All fear with COVID on our whole. I know the government is doing their job, doing what they have to do, and Ministry of Health doing what they have to do to ensure that the numbers stay low. Once people continue following the protocols and doing what they have to do, I'm sure once it keeps going as it is right now, I'm sure come the 20th of February, we will have some people in the stadium watching football again.
All fingers crossed, no spikes in cases. We continue to behave ourselves. Then we may just have an opportunity to go into the stadium and see our Spice Girls against the Reggae Girls on the 20th. Nisha, in addition to that, I know that we also have other games. Go right ahead.
No, sorry, you continue. Go ahead.
I was saying that I know outside of preparation for the CONCACAF Cup, Premier League resumed. Where are we with that one and other competitions for the rest of the year? Because I know we're adding some new competitions this year.
Premier League wise, we had to postpone it for a while because of some health wise matters. We don't want to put our players at risk, while we don't want to put other people, our fans and spectators at risk as well. So we just had to go back to the drawing board a bit and put some measures in place. We're still working on that. A date has not been set as yet to resume the Premier League. Once that is available, we're sure going to share it with you all. We have the Pro Grenada Cup that is being planned as well. Hopefully, with all things continue going as it is, that competition will come off. Our senior men team, they're preparing for the second camp in March. They have the Nations League coming up later on in the year, sometime later on down the year. They have to prepare for that as well. Youth tournament wise, we still trying to put things in place for that. We don't want to endanger, as I said, our players' life and their health. And we just want to make sure that we have all our I's dotted, all our T's crossed. That way, when we resume football, it will resume local tournament wise. It will be resumed on properly and full scale football. I know the fans are they're dying, they're hungry for some games, some kind of entertainment regarding football wise. And we're trying our best. We're really trying our best. We're working with the Ministry of Health to ensure that everything is in place and that we could give them what is it that they're asking for.
Okay, well, that sounds like a plan. It sounds promising. At least we know that hopefully we continue to live in that realm of things, that things will go back to normal. So, Nisha, so that's our preparation of our senior women's team. We have Premier League now on hold, other competitions in planning, but we await to see what happens with COVID. While we do so, we continue to plan for great football. Remind us again of the date. The 17th? No, not the 17th. The 16th.
We take on Dominican Republic. That's in Dominica. And we have Jamaica Grenada. That's right here at home at the Grenadians Athletic Stadium. It's going to be an amazing game. Then on the 6th of April, we take on Cayman Islands. And the 12th of April, we take on Bermuda.
What group are we in?
There's a World Cup qualifiers. We're not in any particular group anymore.
So,
it's the road to New Zealand, Australia, New Zealand. So, let's see how it plays out.
Let us see how it plays out. I'm sure our women would give their best. We continue to support them. We will be behind them. Spice Girls all the way. We're sticking to that theme. And of course, we know that they will do us proud. They will do us proud. Nisha, any parting words from you?
Well, just thank you for having me on. It's a pleasure always talking football with you. And come February 20th, fingers crossed, as I said, all goes well. Let's come out and enjoy some good football.
That's a good way to resume it all. I think that is an excellent way to resume it. But let's see what happens. Let's continue to be hopeful that that will happen. Nisha, thank you again. Thank you again. We will be speaking as we get closer to that 20th game. We would love to have an update, as people would want to know whether or not I can go into the stadium to look at that big game. So we will be speaking again as we get closer to the that 20th game, which is right here in Grenada. We're preparing for a lot of sports. We know we're preparing for cricket, we're preparing for football, and we're hoping that this year we may just have an athletic season, but that's us being hopeful here. Nisha, have a good one. Thank you again.
Thanks so much for having me, Oslin. Have a great day.
Thanks, and same to you. Most welcome. So that was Nisha Peters, Communication Officer of the Grenada Football Association, GFA, speaking about the senior women's team's preparation for the World Cup qualifiers. A game on the 16th, another big one on the 20th right here at home, and then they move to the next 2 games scheduled for April. So we are looking forward to this. We wish the ladies the best. Quite a mix then, the team, the seasoned players, the retired senior women's players with budding talent, new abilities identified, and it's going to be a beautiful mix. So we wish them the very best. The team out there at the GFA coaching team, management team, we wish them the best as we continue to try to grow football here on Ireland. So we take a quick break. It's already 6 minutes past 8 o'clock. When we come back, we get to speak to the reigning Independence monarch 4 times. So Serpent, when we return. We'll be back in a bit.
We support you at every stage of your life.
For business,
For your education.
for your financial freedom.
For that new ride.
Upgrade your life with the Communal. Contact us today.
Did you get your electricity bill to be so low?
For one, we size our transformers just for what we need, and we unplug transformers, chargers, and other devices when they're not in use. We also replaced our light bulbs with LEDs. I even replaced the seal on my refrigerator door to keep the cold air in.
How do you know if it is working?
We pay attention to the usage history table. Over time, our average usage has decreased.
Renelec, energizing our Grenada.
Rise and shine.
Welcome back. So as indicated before we went on the break, we are speaking with the reigning monarch of the independence competition, Sean Niles, Sour Serpent. Good morning, Mr. Niles. Happy New Year. Congratulations on retaining that title. Thank you so much for being on Rise and Shine.
Good morning, Oslin. Good morning, Grenada. And happy Independence. And thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you. And same to you on the Independence greeting. It's still very, very, very fresh. Not a stranger to the art form, not a stranger to the stage, but we see that you have it now 4 times. You have gotten it another time, and we want to congratulate you. We want to congratulate you on this. Speak to us about your most recent win on Friday night. What does this mean for you?
Well, first of all, it's not 4 times, it's 6 times.
Oh, 6.
Consecutive from 2019, 2021, and this year 22. So that's 4. And I did them in 2016 and 15 as well.
So 4 consecutive years of winning the competition. Mr. Niles, as I said earlier, you are no stranger to the art form. You have been around for quite a while. Always those very humorous pieces, humorous but touching pieces. What was different about this year's competition as compared to your past? We know COVID has done quite a number. Everybody have so much to say, so much negatives to say. But in the midst of all that's happening, you continue to win. What was different about this competition?
I don't think it was different. It's just a part of the continuum. You see, every year is different. Every day is different. Every month is different. And remember, it's independence, and we know independence is coming around since 1974. So we have a chance to prepare for it. But there's so much things you could say about the country, you know. And after a while, you go back saying the same thing. So as a Calypsonian now, our job, my job in particular, is to ensure that even if we might be saying the same thing, let's build Grenada, let's come together, let's unite, you find a different way of seeing it. And that is where, the edges, find a different way to say what you want to say. I do believe, even if as a Calypsonian you want to, my battery low, you want to instruct your country to do stuff, you need to balance it. You need to balance the corrective with the positive, right? So many times the calypsos and the calypsos are there to further degrade or send a real dark message. You know, what I do is try to merge the two. Try to say, look, let's build, but we still have lovely things that we can appreciate and cherish.
And I like how you put that, because as a Calypsonian, you're an advocate for the country. You get to put in song the many issues that we are faced with, and also challenge our policymakers on how to do things better, rather, or seeing things differently as it relates to how it affects us. And independence, I think it's a special time to do that, because it's all about country. It is all about representation. It is all about culture. It's about who we are as a people. And if it's one thing I know you never ever miss, is that being able to capture all of this. When I ask as to how different it was this year, I know that you did not have as much time to prepare as to the theme, because it was kind of last minute, and I know you would have to write. But to be able to pen a song that represented this year's theme with all that has happened, was it at all difficult for you?
I am tired of saying this, and I do not want anybody to hear me coming across as boastful. But I haven't written a song in 18 years. So since we started, I have been writing songs. I compose in my head all my ideas and concepts.
Just a bit of a technical glitch there with Mr. Niles. I think we might have lost him, but he will come back on. We were speaking there with Sean Niles, the Sour Serpent. Recently, he retained the Independence title last Friday at the Karani James Athletic Stadium when the Independence Calypso competition was held. He was speaking to us there about his presentation, the song, also how challenging it was for him to prepare for this year's competition with all that's happening. And we just lost him there when we were speaking about how difficult it was for him to pen a song that related to the theme. And he was just repeating to us that it has been 18 years that he has not written. He composed everything in his head, and then he can just lay it down. Quite a talent it is, right? Quite a talent. And we want to commend all the other participants from Friday's competition. We better luck next time. We had quite a nice mix of Calypsonians, young, seasoned, been a part of the Independence Calypso competition last week, Friday. And as we heard from Adrian Mark last Thursday when we spoke to him about the competition, he was telling us that they had somewhat 21 artists sharing or entering the competition and had to narrow it down to choosing 9 to come up against Sour Serpent, who was the reigning monarch then. He successfully defended, and he's now on 4 straight titles, 6 overall independence titles, but 4 straight titles in that independence competition. So to all our competitors who were at that competition last Friday, we say the best man won, but next year there'll always be many more as we continue to be very, very patriotic. Mr. Niles, you are back with us. We saw that you had just a little glitch there, a little technical glitch. You were sharing with us that 18 years, it's been 18 years that you have not penned, you have not written a song. Everything is composed in your head. I want us to continue there.
Yeah. If I ever try to write a song, like pull up a pen and paper, because a friend of mine told me, Chopin, you must write them songs and then write them songs. I say, I can't do it. Anytime I put a pen in my hand and try to write, forget it. Ideas just stop flowing. It can't happen. It can't happen. So I would compose them. I have an idea. I must say, I was doing Crosby, I was doing this, that, and make up a song in my head. If I'm going to write it, it can't work. Right? But I still, people work differently. People have different ways of working. Some people carry around their iPads and notebooks and pens when they go to work. They go and sit down on a river stone, and they go up in the mountains and all of that. But for me, it's all in the head.
That's very, very interesting. Some people would say that you have quite a memory there, but we know that if you don't put the brain to work, then it would not give us what we want, right? So that's quite a reminder for us that it's good to use it. It's good to use it. It keeps it working. It keeps it working. Let's speak about because I know whenever you compete, seeing you around Carnival, you would listen to everybody's presentation. When it's time for you to go, and you would be in your zone, and then when you go and you deliver. What you have heard, the offerings from your other competitors, you're seasoned, and I think you are in that position now where you can speak to it. You had quite a mixed bunch there. You had the young ones, you had women in competition, we had yourself, people like Sheldon Douglas and so, that are also would form part of that seasoned group. Let's speak about what you heard, the offering from the other competitors on the night.
Well, you put me in a spot, right? Because I'm sure that some people might have thought that song Sour Serpent sing, they ain't good. So everybody has their own opinions. But I always believe that calypsos must contribute, right? And remember, calypso is a composition, and there are rules. There are rules of composition, right? So if you choose to sing on the Black Stage 3, you need to stick with that. Right? Like Ajamo does. Ajamo is really good at that. If Ajamo sings about Pan, it's Pan all night. Right? So I believe the development of the songs could be better. Right? But I think this year was pretty good. I was surprised at the competition. We had some really, really good performances. Sheldon came second. Royalty. Stunner is always there. Stunner and Cox and these guys. Which Eddie gave a good account of himself. Waterproof is always there. Wowing people, but even myself could be improved as well. So it's not a call for anybody else, but all of us. But generally, it was a good competition. Everybody's not always satisfied with the judges' results. Forget that. You would never get that. My fans would say I win even if I'm not supposed to win. Jack fans would say Jack should win, but let us look at the bigger picture. I think Calypso won that night. It was a platform for Calypsonians to show the craft. I mean, this is lacking. But since 2019, all we have is independence Calypso competition. So all in all.
In that comment. And I was coming to that one, that this Independence Calypso competition, it is the first since 2019. That was our last carnival. And no, we had last year. We had Independence competition last year.
Independence Calypso competition ever since. That's what has kept Calypsonians, and fans kind of interested in the thing.
I must say that it has bridged quite a gap, because we know Calypso has always been one of our dying art forms. So with Calypso being able to happen, even during the COVID pandemic with no carnival, I am hoping that this would augur well in the event that we actually do get the nod to have carnival this year. If we do, what do you think we can do to put some new life into this art form? It's important. All the other genres of music that we have here for carnival, which is soca and groovy, came from Calypso. It will always be the mother. It will always be the mother, and we must respect it for that, and we have to find a way to preserve it. Because if we do lose it, then what would happen to everything else?
I mean, I echo your sentiments, but preserve and improve. I think these two words are important, in that, sometimes you buy a shoe, you love that shoe so bad, you put it away under the bed. When you're ready for it, it dry rot. Right. So you don't want Kaiso to dry. You don't want to put it away. You want to use it sparingly. Right? You want to enhance it. Right? Kaiso might appear to be dying, because I think we have shifted away from our indigenous and original culture, all the aspects, right? From dance and art and food and all of that. And I made a point yesterday on another interview, and I said, look, Festival of the Arts was and still is an opportunity for us to go back to our cultural ways, to impart cultural information onto the next generation. I was never a part of Arts Festival. I always wanted to be. My mother was not that kind of person, And when I thought, I had kids going to Arts Festival, and they were wowed. They won, I think, most of the things we entered in. And they were wowed. And then it is so crucial, because I said before, a nation without a culture is a nation without a soul. Who are we? Who are we without our own cultural swings, right? You are long, and how we speak, and Adi Day, and you was day, and you don't know that, and Bonji, and these things. Who are we without these things? And we sit here and look at Jamaica, and Jamaica's culture, even if it's under attack, but it's still rich. It is still rich, and the food, the dumpling and corned beef, the ackee and the saltfish, and the beja and the kuku and the kalaloo. Right? And I believe in every hotel you could go at a certain point in time, you'll get these national dish available. They're available. I hope they're available in our situation as well. Right? But I think to solve the problem with Calypso and the other arts, I don't want to say Calypso alone, get it in the psyche of the kids, get it in the schools. That's where you need it, because 1 year wouldn't solve the problem. Get it in the schools. And once you get the children, you get the parents, you get families. Before you turn twice, the stadium full of people come in and support people, young children singing Calypso, and so on. So I think the problem is the roots. We need to sow the seeds in the roots if you're going to get Calypso growing and flourishing as you want it.
All right. I fully support that comment. If we do get the nod, are you ready for Spice Mass? If we do get the nod, because I know I have to be very, very cautious as to how I make that comment, because somebody might just say that I say that that's happening. If we do get the nod, because we're now waiting on a final decision for Spice Mass 2022, are you ready? Always, right?
I am ready. I was ready 2019, because I got prepared for my defense in 2019 for 2020, and I'll be going with the same two songs. I'm ready. I'm ready as ready.
Great. I love to hear this. Serpent, it is always a pleasure speaking with our artists. Always a pleasure as you share different light on everything. Your comment this morning on the competition on the competition last Friday, I treasure and I really do appreciate. Even though, as you said, I did put you on the spot, somebody as well as you do that has been around in the art form for so long, I know you will be able to give me a comment as to how the competition was. Every competitor knows whether or not a competition is at that level, but also how we can improve as we move forward. And it starts with the competitor themselves. Winning, we know that, as I said, the team, the competitors at Friday's competition, some of them can very well be your students. I know you would have had encounters with them in the past. Young, budding, but that kind of guidance is what we need. People like you to continue to hold their hands and guide them. As that is, and as you rightfully said a while ago, it is how we will be able to speak about the stadium being filled again on a Dimanche night when we do have that Calypso competition going into our schools. And I think as one of the seasoned, experienced, or veteran Calisonians on Island, you have definitely, you have done exactly what I expected you to do this morning with that comment, and I want to thank you for that. I do treasure that response. I do treasure that response. So, as it relates to moving forward, what can we continue to expect from you? We know that you work with the children in your school. If you do have an opportunity to get them off on that level, what can we continue to expect from Serpent as it relates to keeping that rich Calypso musical aspect alive?
Expect the unexpected. Expect the unexpected. I'm not a very competitive person. I'm not. Because I believe the competition is within yourself, you know. Calypso is a no contact event. So I bring out the best that I can bring out. And Oswin brings out the best that she can bring out. So there's no real competition with anybody else but yourself and what you present. You know, we won art form, we're doing this thing together. So for instance, if let's say Scholar says, Samantha singing a song about you, you know, boy, could you make an appearance on the stage for me? I go in. I go in. You know? So as I said, it's not a contact event. What we have to do is write well, sing well, present well, and hope for the best. And that's it. In terms of, because of COVID, you know, we had some little constraints. I'm no longer teaching, right? But I'm going to throw to the principal of my school, current government school, to start a small Calypso tutoring program, free of course, you know, in the near future, maybe by the end of March. So I'm going to do a proposal in writing, and then she will respond and so on. I haven't mentioned that to her yet, but she's a good, real nice principal, right? Princey, Miss Latouche, big up. All right, so that's one way I want to give back. But my son goes to that school as well.
You see, we did not even know, but there we have it. Great, great. As you said, expect the unexpected. We love that unexpected. That is definitely contributing and giving back. Serpent, again, thank you, congratulations. Another year to reign. It's going to be, we're heading up to the 50th anniversary, and I know that one is going to be quite a landmark monarch for you, if that is what is destined for you. And I'm sure you're preparing, as that seemed to be the big number now that we are all preparing for. But speaking about this year, thank you so much for your continued contribution to culture. Always there. If there's one thing we know for sure, we have the seasoned campaigners that would not let the art form die. You have contributed, continue to contribute, and we are grateful. And when we say thank you today, we say thank you and congratulations. Deserving as always. And another year to reign. We wish you the very best, and we look forward to featuring that program when you started at the Crowshoe RC School with the students, that mentoring, that tutoring for the current. Be able to give back in that art form of Calypso. Any parting words from you, Sour Serpent?
Well, I just want to say thanks to everyone who organized. The organizers is John Williams and so on. I know there were some constraints at the time and the band, so thanks to them. But I really want to say thanks to my son Christian, who has really, really supported me and urged me on, when I was feeling down and so on. But most of the fans, the Sour Serpents fans who I do not know at all, my goodness, the messages came in torrents Friday night and Thursday and Wednesday. We supporting you, go ahead, do this, So big up to the Sour Serpent fans. I must say thank you. I wish I could touch everybody and say, hey, I appreciate. Right? Big up Grenada. We're going strong. The times are tough, but we're gonna get there. If the mountain was smooth, no one could climb.
Thank you so much, Sour Serpent, and congratulations again. We will be speaking with you as we will be trying to follow that tutoring, Calypso tutoring program that you would like to start at that school. I want to commend you in advance for this, as that's the only way we will be able to preserve, as you said, and develop Calypso here in Grenada. Thank you again, and congratulations.
Bye.
Thank you again. So we were speaking there with the reigning monarch, Independence Monarch, crowned last week Friday in the Independence competition at the Karani James Athletic Stadium. It was a virtual event. Sour Serpent, again, 4 straight years of winning this competition, 6 years overall in the titles. It was quite an interesting show. As you heard from him, the competition was good. He was somewhat surprised. So it means that the art form, our culture, it's still alive, and we have a lot to be grateful for. So we celebrated 48 yesterday. We have a year now to continue this until we get to 49, and we are working towards 50, that big one. As we conclude this evening, this morning, rather, I'm trying to run off the day. As we conclude this morning, we will share some of Sour Serpent's performance from Friday night with you as we conclude this morning. So on behalf of the team, Tanya, Chad, again, a pleasure. To all our sponsors, we say thank you so much for supporting this venture. All our viewers in the diaspora here in Grenada, listen to us on Magic FM. It was a pleasure being here with you. It's already 8:32 in the morning. So we say thank you so much. We wish you a productive day. Please remember, we have every reason to smile today. Even if we may want to frown, think of all the reasons why we should smile and continue to smile today. So be safe, everyone. Remember, we're still living within the pandemic. We still have COVID around, so let's not be responsible. Do what we need to do, wear our mask, adhere to the protocols, and do what we need to do to ensure that we keep our family and ourselves safe. Vaccinate, it's still an option. You can go out there to the various centers and get vaccinated if you have not done so as yet. So I'm your host, Oslin Crosby. See you back here on Thursday morning when we do this all over again, all things remaining the same. So as I said, we concluded some of Sour Serpent's performance from last Friday's competition. Have a good day, everyone.
So when COVID hit, we spread it like shit. People falling like moths with COVID blood clot. And when the numbers hit red, they say we should stop the spread. But I say no way, never know how. We should never stop spreading now. So come let we spread positive vibe in Grenada. Tell ourselves we will only succeed together. Come let we spread the value of civic awareness. So this nation's interest will be all of us business. And come let we spread all aspects of our culture. So our children won't think they're from America. Come let we spread peace, love and unity. So we could work together for one country. And while we sharing and spreading, this nation will be healing, overcoming adversity, safeguarding livelihoods and the future of my country. Then we shouldn't have to worry with no blood clotting once. Good vibes we spreading, and if we only stick to this plan, no blood clot can stop this nation. Let it spread like a good hit song. No blood clot can stop this nation. Spread it like style and fashion. No blood clot can stop this nation.